Hello everyone, welcome to this session. Now let's, after having created and run the weather application with the weather API integration successfully, I would like to show you how the project is debugged. And if you recall your past lecture, you can see that there are a lot of things that remains unexplained because I have written all the these variables, sunrise UTC, sunset UTC, from the weather data. Now let's fetch the weather data in the debug mode and analyze its various elements. Okay, so what I will do is, in this project, I will right click my index.html and open with live server. So this application is open. Now the next step is to set up the breakpoints. Now breakpoints I have already set up in the main.js and UI renderer.js, the most productive of these modules. And then the next step will be to configure the debugger. And how we configure the debugger, we click the run and debug. And to customize and run and debug, create a launch.json file. Okay. So launch.json file, and web app is Chrome. Okay. So it has already created the launch.json file. But you can see here the URL is http localhost 8080. Whereas my live server runs on HTTPS and HTTP localhost it is, but the IP address is there, and with the port number 5500/index.html. If you verify, you'll find what I'm telling. So 127.001:5500 real world demo /index.html. So we'll copy the entire URL from here. So copy it and paste it over here. All right. So this will create the launch. This will actually allow us to our debugger to open the app automatically. Okay. Now for starting the debugging, we'll click the run and debug again, and here it is run, start debugging. Okay, now everything is there. This continue button and step over, step into, and step out and restart. So let's get back to our application and start debugging. So our application is here. We'll enter a city name. At the moment, it is not accepting any city name. Okay. If you click on get weather, nothing happens. So what will happen is that, we have to run through the process of debugging. Running through the continue button once. Okay. Before it completes the cycle and is ready to accept the user input. So now, yeah, it will allow you to enter the city name, get weather. So when you click on get weather, now that this is the point, you can add the breakpoint, but my breakpoint is here. So you can see city input is it's still not there. Now in the next line, step into one by one, line by line, const city. So this city is now New York, you can see. Yeah. And if city is true, then what is the city? New York. And then call the get weather function. So get weather was from weather service.js, importing get weather. Okay. And so next step will be, I will step by step I will show, rather than jumping over without going through each step. Important step, you can step over a function from F10 and you can step out of a function with shift plus F11. So step into get weather, it takes it to get weather, and then again step into, and response is in the JSON form, and then the data, and this data, see this data is already found, this JavaScript object. So you can see base, clouds, everything, and I have created a watch, so data is all here. So you can see the call stack, you can see the local variables, so data is also here, and it is watch. Watch means when it is watching the variable as it is changing. So you can get coordinators, latitude, longitude, and many other things. Return value object, this is undefined. API key is there, get weather, okay, it's global, and you can copy the value over here, add expression, set value, remove all expression, and sys. See, this was important. Sys type 1 ID 4610, country automatically fetches the country US, sunrise, sunset. This was the raw data. It had to be conditioned, it had to be converted into UTC time and then the local time, allowing for the GMT variations. Okay, so you can see that things are getting a bit more clear after this, within this debugging session. So if you click on again, let us step over, or let us step out. Okay, step out of this function, and so it takes us to again the main.js with the display weather having the data, and here you can see the temperature is in the city is New York, and the temperature is 295.73 in Kelvin. Okay, and you can probably, I was trying to see where I can copy the entire thing and copy the value. Okay, nevertheless, don't worry about copying the entire data. So it gets the data, and if you step into further, it will go for the weather data. It will actually input the weather data, which it has already got. You can see weather data, and so it's a complicated JavaScript object, so a lot of information is fed over there, but I just wanted to give you a basic idea where it is got. Okay, so you can see F11, F11, F11. So you can see all this temperature description, few clouds, feels like temperature, which feels like this 296.29, humidity, pressure. Now weather data dot either weather or weather data dot main. So where is weather data? Weather data dot weather. Okay, let's try to, okay, yeah, I can find it out. Weather data. So okay, weather data. Expression to watch. All right, it gives you the weather data straight away. Weather data, within the weather data, weather. So ID 801, main clouds, description few clouds, icon 0 to n. Okay, so weather data is weather branch, and weather data is main. What is main? Let us see what is the main. Weather data main. Hey, yeah, I could find feels like, and ground level is this, temperature, this feels like this. So everything, all is there. All data that we have actually fed comes from the retrieved API data on weather map. So if you now step into, I can show you step. This one is step over, then step into. At a particular context, step over and step into does the same thing. Step over is steps over a function, and step into, but within a function, it steps over to the next line and step into also does the same thing. And this one, step out, and now it has stepped out. Does it step out? Okay, now step out of this function. Steps out is actually giving you the final answer. Okay, yes, steps it out of the function and out of the application and spits out the full information. So you can see that you get all the information over here. If you now change it to say New Delhi, click on get weather again, and the process will start. You have to first run through here, and it is still, I think, giving you the New York weather. So if you continue, and now finally it gives you the weather of Delhi, New Delhi. So here you can see that you can create watches. You can see the call stack, the stack call, the succession of functions. What function is called the next function, which is calling the another next function, and so on and so forth. And this is the variable. You can see the variable. If you restart the application, you can see these variables also getting displayed again. So that is in a nutshell. I've tried to explain the process of debugging this application. So where does the data come from so that it looks more realistic.